Hey everyone, Techni here with a headset comparison. Now real quick, as you can see, my setup is slowly getting there, right? I have some stuff on the walls throughout the room and everything, but it's still getting a little bit of bounce off here, so I apologize for the sound if it's a little bit bad. Again, it's getting a little bit better, but I still have some work to do, but hey, we're getting there. So anyways, as far as the headset comparison we have today, we have the SteelSeries Arctis 5, and then we have the HyperX Cloud 2. Now real quick, right off the bat, I gotta tell you, kind of spoiler alert, both of these headsets are fantastic. I absolutely love them. Now this was only my second headset comparison, and I remember back in our last one was Arctis 3 and MA751, I got a little bit of heat from it, right? People started calling me a SteelSeries fanboy and whatnot. You know, again, I'm just kind of comparing them, giving you my opinion. You're gonna have a completely different opinion of mine, which one's more cozy, which one sounds better, whatever, but I can kind of break it down and show you what the differences are and kind of explain some of the differences, help you out choose which one you prefer like that. But of course, you may not like this same one as me. But again, both of these headsets I absolutely love, and right at that price range, I believe they're both right around 80 bucks. I know the Arctis 5 on Amazon are on sale for 80 bucks right now, regularly 100, and I believe the Cloud 2s are about 90 right now. Now real quick, before we dive into these two headsets here, I'm gonna let you know I did a detailed review on both of these headsets here, so if you want to check those out afterwards, you can. I'll leave those links right down in the description. But honestly, I really dove into these two headsets right here and really tested them out. I had one there and one here and going back and forth, you know, so I covered quite a bit here. But if you wanted to check those out, some close-ups of the headsets and whatnot, again, check out those videos. I'll leave the link right down in the description for you. So anyways, let's go and start off by what you get in your box. Let's start with the Arctis 5 over here. You're going to get your headset right. You get this little 3.5 adapter right here, which will plug into the wires over here. Then you can plug it straight in a controller or mobile or anything like that. You're going to get your little, I don't know what you call your control box right here, where you can adjust your volume in your game chat, which we'll talk about later. And then you get your basic headset wires right here. Now going over to the Cloud 2, what you're going to get, obviously your headset. As you can see, your basic 3.5 is already attached right here. You're going to get your mic, which is detachable. Then you're going to get your little sound card over here with your 7.1 controls and all, and your volume and your mic controls. They actually give you a spare set of little velour, I guess you'd call that, ear cups right there, which is really cool. Again, on the headset you have your pleather ones, but they give you a spare set right there, which is a really cool touch. They give you this little airplane adapter, so I guess you can plug it into the airplane. I'm not too sure about that. That's kind of strange. And then they give you a little mesh carrying bag here, which again I think is kind of pointless, but hey, I guess you got it. All right, so let's go and start talking about the comparison. And real quick, again, like I stated, I went really in depth with this comparison here. I did multiple tests. I tested on the Switch here. I tested on the PlayStation 4 Pro. I tested on the Xbox One X. I tested it on PC and mobile. Well, my mobile had to be an iPad mini because my phone doesn't use 3.5, but anyways, we did test it with music and videos on that as well. And speaking about testing across all of these devices here, I tested it both ways, 3.5 and USB. So we have multiple tests. That even goes with the mic test when we get to it down the road. I did 3.5 in USB. So again, we're gonna go really in depth here. All right, so number one, what I'd like to talk about, just like with all my other headset reviews, is comfort. And which one's gonna take the win for comfort? So let's go and start over here with the SteelSeries Arctis 3. As we know, they use that little sports mesh material right there, and you can see those ear cups are super duper plush and soft. The whole headset is pretty much plastic, minus a little clasp right there, and then some you know, attachers right down there. So it's very lightweight, but again, when you put it on your head, it feels like it's stinking floating there. I mean, there's not too much pressure right there, you know, just a little bit. I'd say medium pressure, grip and force right there, you know. But again, the ear pads just sit right on your head. I don't even know how to explain it, like a memory foam or something, you know, because it doesn't just smush into your head by any means. The little, they have the little ski band up top right there, which is how you adjust it. You just undo the Velcro and tighten it up if you want to make it a little smaller or bigger on you. But again, no pressure on top, no pressure on the side. You have plenty of swivel both ways. You can lay them flat, as you can see right here, and then you got some swivel in right here. So it's gonna fit anywhere on your head right there. And again, they just feel like they're floating. Super duper cozy. I mean, cozy, lightweight, breathable. Total win on comfort right here. All right, now let's talk about comfort on the HyperX Cloud 2s right here. Now the ear cups that come on these guys, the ear pads, they are all pleather in and out right there. Very, very soft, plenty of give right there. And again, like I stated, very soft, but your ears do get a little bit spicy in these things, right? They can start sweating a little bit, and they give you those velour ones right here, which are very, very breathable, also very soft, but you get a lot of sound bleed with these. I honestly do not like using this headset with these right here. Yes, they're cozy, very breathable, but I think it really drops the sound off quite a bit, so I don't recommend using those right there. Just stick to these. But anyways, as far as comfort, as you see, these adjust on the side, just like your standard headset right there. A couple of notches on the inside. We can pull these out. Plenty of padding on the headband as well, while we're talking about that right there. But anyways, you put these on, and they're pretty comfortable as well. Very soft on the ears, soft on the head, a little bit heavier than the Arctis 5. Not much, nothing like drastic by any means. But as I stated in my previous review, if you've seen it, the one thing I do not like about this headset, or any headset that has this feature, there's no swivel. Again, that kind of right there is just me kind of bending and forcing it to move. But there's no swivel. You have the swivel in and out right here, but none this way. So when I put them on my head, I get a lot of pressure right up here on my cheekbone, right up there. And honestly, after, like for a quick session, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, something like that, it doesn't really bother me. But if I'm sitting there playing for a long time, I mean, it really starts pressing right there. It's not really because of my glasses, because when I take my glasses off, it's still there, you know, and the pressure is not right up here where my frame arm is. It's right down here on my cheekbone right there. And it honestly gets pretty stinking annoying after a while. So as far as comfort, I have to give the win to the SteelSeries Arctis 5. From the ear pads being breathable and just floating on your head, not too much clamping force, you know, I can play with these things for quite a long time. Now the Cloud 2s are very comfortable, you know, a lot of you out there probably saying, well heck man, just put the velour ones on, it's gonna be just like that. But that is not the case, because when you get into the Arctis 5, as you see, you have the soft sports material right there, but inside you have a little lining of pleather, if you can see right in there. So it holds that sound in there as well. It's not complete cloth going all the way through. You have that little lining of pleather in there, which is going to hold in some of that sound, but still let your ears breathe. Rather, when these guys, you're either going to have sweaty, hot ears with no swivel, or you can put on the cloth pads and you're going to lose a lot of that sound right there. So again, my personal preference, I think we got to give the win to the Arctis 5. All right, so next up, let's go ahead and talk about build. And let's again start with the Arctis 5 right here. Now these things are pretty much completely 100% plastic. Now your little arms right in there, you can see that little silver bit right there and right here. You have metal holding on to there. I can't really tell in between this bracket if it's metal or not, but anyways, pretty much the exterior of this thing is all plastic, but I think it kind of goes back into that comfort. It's very lightweight right there. Now the plastic is thick and it feels durable whenever you bend it and twist it. So, you know, I don't think they're going to break, but again, as far as the build, it is plastic, but I think it also kind of goes along with that comfort with the lightweight right there. Now talking about the build on the HyperX Cloud 2s, and everyone swears up and down that HyperX headsets are just built the best. I think they're built just like every other headset, right? Sure, you have this big flashy metal piece right there, so everyone's like, oh wow, they're metal, you know what I mean? But again, they're going into plastic right up here, they're going into plastic right down here, so no, they're not made out of completely metal, right? Again, they're going into these arms up here, and then down there, the little dangling wires make me a little bit nervous, so I don't think they're built like tanks by any means. They do feel solid, they really do, and they feel durable, you know. I don't think I'd break either of them. I'm pretty gentle with my stuff. I set it down right there. The thing that probably makes me the most nervous on the HyperX right here is the brackets that if we can get some focus, come on, where are we? There we go. These brackets right here going into the headset, which the arms connect to. So if you accidentally just drop this down, that little piece of plastic could break right there, and then bam, your headset's gonna be unusable. It's just gonna be dangling. So that's probably the one thing that makes me nervous right there, is that exposed bracket on the HyperX. All right, so as far as build and durability right here, I don't know who I can give the win to. I think I got to make it a tie, right? Because yes, the SteelSeries is all plastic and it feels light, but again, I put that into the comfort, you know what I mean? You get into the HyperX and it feels better in the hand. Does it feel better in the hand because it's heavier? I'm not too sure, you know what I mean? But again, there's things that make me really nervous on the HyperX, and then again, we go back to the SteelSeries being all plastic. So I don't think either of them are cheap or either of them are built fantastic. I give them, you know, both a win right across the board. They feel durable and they feel solid, you know? So again, let's make this one a tie. All right, so now let's go to talk about some features, and this is kind of roll into usability and whatnot, like how you use them on each platform, you know what I mean? So anyways, back on the Arctis 5 right here, as you can see on the back of the ear cup right here, you have your mute and then your mic active right there. So you can kind of feel that little button coming out. You have your volume rocker right here on the back. Right back here is where you're going to plug in your wires to go into the little sound control. Right here is a share port. So if you have your buddy or whatever sitting right next to you, they can plug in a set of headphones and hear exactly what you're hearing. The mic on the Arctis 5 is retractable, as you can see right here. It just rolls right back into the headset. And it's pretty stinking cool because if we can get some focus right here, the mic on the Arctis 5, whenever you mute it, that light will turn red for you. Kind of a really nice notification to know that your mic is muted or not. I really like that. Now, as far as setting up the Arctis 5, you have a few different options or configurations here, right? You have your basic cable right here, which will plug into our sound dial, little controller right here, and then a USB will plug into your device to use that way. And you can control the sound or your game chat by that dial right there, or the sound on the dial of the headset. Now, if you go onto console, again, you're going to have your basic wire coming out of the headset here, and then you'll plug into a 3.5. Actually, not console because you can use USB on a PS4 and Nintendo Switch, but the 3.5 will be for Xbox, or say if you're using mobile, a phone or something, you just plug that 3.5 in there. So again, you kind of got a couple different configurations per device you're using for the Arctis 5. All right, so now that we have the Arctis 5 all plugged up and everything, as you can see our little dial, the light is white on there. So you know that it is active and it is powered up right there. You do have RGB on the Arctis 5 and you can adjust this, do rainbow, static, all sorts of different effects, sync it up to your other SteelSeries products on PC, and it does light up as well on PS4. But and Nintendo Switch, by the way, but you cannot customize it that way. You have to go customize it on the PC in the SteelSeries engine, and then it'll save your settings on the headset. So if you want a rainbow, purple, or red, yellow, green, whatever, set it up on your PC and then plug it into your console, and it will actually work that way. Again, when I say plug into console, it is only PS4 and Nintendo Switch. You cannot do that on the Xbox. Again, the Xbox is 3.5, so none of this lights or any of that work. Now, again, I want to show you that mic right there. As you can see, it's active right now. Whenever I press the mute button here, it'll light up red. So it's active, and now it's muted right there. Again, as cheesy as some people may think that is, I think that is super stinking awesome because, again, it's just right in front of your face and you always know for sure that it is muted. So as far as using the HyperX Cloud 2s on each device, again, we have the attached 3.5 right here, which you can plug in a controller, your phone, or whatever device you desire. Just plug it in straight like that, and bam, you are done. Now, you can also plug in this guy right here by USB, and you can control your game volume right here, and then your chat volume, and again, it plugs in right to USB. Now, this works on the PlayStation, the Switch, and PC, and then of course Mac and stuff, and you can control it right there. So as far as the control box on the HyperX, whenever you plug it in by USB right here, as you can see, the HyperX logo lights up, and if you press the 7.1, that'll light up as well, letting you know that it is active. Now, I really kind of wish that they had a notification whenever you muted your mic. As you can see, we are muted right here. You know, you see the little tiny bit of red right there, but I wish there was a notification on the front that let me know, hey, the mic is muted. Now, as far as the mic on a HyperX Cloud 2s, as you can see, it is detachable right here, and it actually comes with the windscreen on it. I think that's really cool. But as you can see, we have this little cover right on the bottom of the headset. There we go, right down there, and we'll just peel that off. There we go, and you can see we have to open it for the mic. You have a little box right there, so you know you're matching it up perfectly. Bam, and then, whoa, here we go. There we go. Now we'll put it in. Nice flush look and everything. So it's detachable. So if you don't want the mic, bam, it's completely gone right there, which is pretty cool because, you know me, I pretty much never use a mic. So I like how you can just kind of cover that up right there. You don't see the mic at all. Reduces a little bit of weight, a very small amount, and it just looks really nice and flush. But trust me, if you use the mic a lot, you are going to lose this little piece right here. So now one other thing, kind of talking about the sound card and your little volume dial over here, you know, again, with the SteelSeries right here, you have a little soft rubber on the bottom, so whenever you're adjusting it, it doesn't move around at all, you know, and I really like it. You can kind of set this right up by your keyboard, and it's almost like you got a nice, easy access media control right there. Now, going to the HyperX one, the one thing I don't like about it, as you can see, you have all of this wire and then your control box down here, so say if you're on console or something, or even on PC, this thing's going to be down by your feet whenever you have the headset on, you know, so you kind of got to get that little clip right there, you know, clip it somewhere, I don't know, maybe say you got a, you know, a pocket pocket on your shirt, you clip it right there, you know? So that kind of stinks. You kind of got to really kind of get down there and dig and kind of find this. I don't know, maybe clip it to your mouse pad or something. I'm not too sure. But again, it kind of stinks that that thing's not right there with you. You really got to search for this while you're in game. So as far as features, who's going to take the win right here? I think a lot of this kind of rolls again into personal preference, right? Do you like the stuff being on that little sound card, your little control box right there, you know? Or do you like the stuff being on the headset? Me personally, I like the stuff being on the headset. Bam, it's right there. Your controls are right there. The mic is attached, so bam, you can put it right there. You're not going to lose it. It's always right there with you. And I really, really like that control wheel. Again, with me not using a mic pretty much ever, so I don't got to adjust my chat to game. I pretty much just use it as a quick, easy access volume wheel, right? If I want a little bit lower, I'll put it towards chat, you know what I mean? So to just lower my volume. I love the mute light on the headset right there. A lot of people probably say, oh, who cares about RGB on a headset, you know, as far as the going around there, but it's really cool because if you have your desk, bam, and you're not using it, you're just setting it there and it's cycling through your colors of the rest of your PC or your room or anything like that. It's honestly really, really cool just leaving them hanging there on your headphone rack right there, you know, headphone hook, whatever, and having that RGB in the background. It's honestly pretty stinking cool. But again, going back to the HyperX, maybe you like that stuff being right on the control box right there, right? Not on the back of the headset, so you can actually see what you're pressing and what you're doing and what's active right at a flick of the finger right there, you know, as well as having a detachable mic with a windscreen, you know, so it's kind of, I don't know, you kind of got to think about what do you like more than the other, you know. So me personally, I would choose the Arctis 5 because I like all the controls being right there on the back of the headset. There's no clutter. I don't have to search for it. Bam, it's right there. All right, so now we're getting into the meat and potatoes here. We're going to cover sound, and right after sound, we're going to do the mic test on both headsets going 3.5 in USB. But number one, what I want to cover first is that sound. All right, so I might get a little bit botched up here talking about the sound, right? Because again, I tested it on every single device, the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Xbox One X, the Nintendo Switch, the PC, mobile, and doing videos and watching videos, listening to music and everything. So again, I might get a little botched up and a little mumble jumbled here because again, I tested a USB in 3.5. So just bear with me, and I do apologize if I start jumping all over the place. All right, so let's go and start off with the Arctis 5 on PS4 right here. Now again, I tested these via USB and 3.5. The 3.5 will go right into the controller, USB will go into your console. And again, you have plenty of wire, so if your chair's across the room, you'll have it there. Sure, you're gonna have this trip hazard going across there, you know, but you can do it and you still get all your controls, you get all your RGB on the headset and the mic right there. And plugging them in USB into the PS4, they sounded pretty good. Not great by any means, but they did sound good. Going 3.5 in a controller, absolutely horrible, you know. But again, talking PS4, my personal opinion, again, the soundstage was good going USB. It was fairly crisp and everything, you know, but honestly, I would not buy this headset for PS4. My personal opinion. I just wouldn't, you know what I mean? It's just, you're kind of buying a little bit of extra fluff in this thing. Again, I'm talking if you're just playing on PS4 here, right? You got the RGB and all that stuff, which is great to control it on PC. But again, going to PS4, you're going to need that PC to control it on and everything. Yes, it's going to work, but you're going to have to, you know, sync it up and customize it on there. And the soundstage is good, but again, it's not fantastic. So as far as just PS4, if you're playing just on PS4, no, I don't think you should get this. Alright, so now Xbox One with the Arctis 5 right here. Now you cannot plug these into USB on the Xbox. It just doesn't work, which is really stinker because again, I love that little volume wheel right there. But again, what you do is just take that off right there, plug it in 3.5, plug it into your controller, and it sounds pretty good. Again, you're kind of getting that same stage with USB plugged into the PS4 right there. It sounds good, but no, it's not great. And again, I kind of bring this right back to the point on the PS4. No, I would not recommend or buy these just for the PS4 or the Xbox One. Alright, geez, so we're striking out here on the Arctis 5 so far, right? Again, I'm not saying they're horrible. They did sound good, so catch me right there. I'm saying they sound good. They're just not great, right? So anyways, let's go on right into the Nintendo Switch right here, and you can plug these in 3.5 on the Switch. You can dock it, plug it in 3.5. You can dock it, you can plug it in USB, and you're still gonna get the features right there. You can get your RGB, you can use the control wheel and everything right there. So a lot of different feature variations that you use on the Nintendo Switch. Pretty pretty much every variation, right? And it sounds pretty good across the board for a Switch headset, right? It honestly sounded crisp, sharp, and it got pretty stinking loud on the Switch right there. Again, with any variation, if I was just using it in portable mode or if I was using it in dock mode by the USB, I was actually pretty surprised that the RGB and everything worked on the Nintendo Switch right there. Of course, the chat, you got to go through your mobile device, so it's not going to work like that or anything, you know, but it's pretty cool to have all those features actually with on the Switch right there, and it sounded pretty stinking good for the Switch. But again, back to the whole console deal, I just don't recommend these for console. I just don't. I feel like you can save money and buy something a little bit cheaper for console and still get the same sound. I'm not saying the sound was bad. So again, just catch me right there. Everyone that's going to be hating on that topic right there, I think it's a great headset, right? I think it sounds good. But again, for the price of these, if you're just on one of those consoles, I just don't recommend them. All right, so let's go and talk Arctis 5 on PC. And this is where they shine. Again, you get in there, you download that SteelSeries engine right there, you get some equalizer adjust. If you want to see the software, go look at the detailed review of this and I'll show you it all right there. You can activate your surround sound, adjust your RGB. Again, you got the equalizer right there, so I can't even talk on soundstage really, right? Because you can adjust it to however you're going to like. You want more bass, put it there. You want more treble, put it there. You know what I mean? You want to increase the bass to, you know, higher or lower, you got the option in there. And then the 7.1, you can adjust all the mic settings in there and everything. Again, they really shine on PC and they sound fantastic. They really do. Again, that soundstage just really comes to life right there. You have all your controls, you have bass, you have your mids, and you have your highs, and it just sounds very crisp across the board. I really recommend these, and I really like them on PC, and that's kind of where they really shine, you know? And that's kind of where I class the Arctis 5 right here. It's like, okay, if your main platform is PC and you dabble with a little bit of console, a little Switch here, a little, you know, Xbox or PlayStation, that's where I recommend them, you know, and that's what I do. I play 90% of the time on PC, then I dabble a little bit over here on console, and then I think it's totally worth it, you know, because again, you're getting your money's worth, $100 or whatever, you're getting every single little feature and benefit out of this headset on PC. When you bring it to console, you're kind of losing this or you're losing that, you know? So again, all I'm saying is on console, save some money and you can get something else rather than this. But again, if you're on PC and you dabble with some console, I think you got a complete win. All right, so lastly here on the iPad mini that I tested here. Now I could only plug this into 3.5. Hold on a second. I did have this little adapter right here that will use USB, but whenever I tried plugging in a USB into the iPad mini, right on the iPad right there, it came up, the Arctis 5 requires more power. So anyways, all the other features could not work on there, but I did plug it into 3.5 into the iPad and listen to some music, watch some videos. And it sounded okay. I mean, it sounded pretty good. I gotta say better than okay. I'll put it right there as good, right? I mean, it had your highs. It almost sounded a little bit mid-heavy to me. Not horrible, not deal-breaking by any means, but every now and then I kind of caught it being a little bit muddy, you know? It wasn't throughout the entire deal, but again, it was just kind of, every now and then here and there, mainly with, like, I tested it with hip-hop, rock, some dubstep and stuff like that, and whenever it got into heavy bass sections, it just sounded to get a little bit more muddy. Not horrible by any means, not this drastic amount, but again, compared to the Clouds, I just did notice it being just a little bit mid-heavy right there. But as far as music and videos, it sounded good and it got a pass. Again, going straight 3.5. Alright, so all in all, as far as the sound on the Arctis 5 2019 edition here, I give it a pass. Again, where they really shine is PC. That's the heart of this headset right there. They sound good on every other device, but again, I put it right there as good. Again, you're going to get your money's worth on PC. A very nice balanced soundstage. You can adjust it to whatever you like, you know what I mean? And really kind of bring it to your personal preference right there, which I think is fantastic. Alright, so now let's go and talk about the sound on the HyperX Cloud 2s. I'm probably going to forget which order I went in, but let's give it a shot. Alright, so I think we started with PlayStation on the SteelSeries, right? I'm not too sure, but that's what we're going to go with here. So anyways, as far as the HyperX Cloud 2s on PlayStation right here, again, I tested them on USB and I tested them 3.5 right in the controller. Now, this is where it gets really crazy because this is almost like a rare experience here. When I plug it in USB into the PlayStation, sure, again, I kind of put it right there as they sound good. It almost sounded a little bit better going 3.5, which is really weird, especially for a PlayStation headset. Now, of course, whenever you plug it into PlayStation, you make sure you go into your settings and adjust it to the volume, because I believe every time you plug in a different headset, it's going to put your volume to half. So go into your settings, crank that all the way up right there, and you'll be all set. But again, as far as my hearing, I noticed it being a little bit better and a little bit crisper, kind of like the highs came out a little bit more plugged into 3.5 in the controller rather than USB through the headset right here, which was pretty weird because, again, I've never really experienced that before. I had to go into my settings and adjust stuff. I'm like, all right, something's wrong here. I have something wrong. But lo and behold, the volume was cranked. Everything was set. It was set to USB and everything. But hey, that's the results I got, which was just very strange. All right, so now we're going to talk about the HyperX with Xbox right here. Now, you have to connect these by 3.5. The USB will not work on the Xbox, but when you plug it into 3.5, it sounded pretty stinking good, actually. Me personally, I'm a person that prefers more highs. So kind of keep that in mind while I'm talking about these sound stages and everything, where I said the Arctis 5 was slightly mid-heavy, a little bit more bass-heavy. Again, not ear-shaking bass or anything like that. Again, maybe the mids just kind of overtook a little bit. But again, going to Xbox, plugged in 3.5 into the controller, I feel like it really brought out the highs. You still had your bass, you still had your mids, but your highs were very just crispy and really just sharp right there. Which, as far as my hearing and my preferred sound, that's what I like. I like my highs to come out and my bass and mids to kind of be back here, just backing it up a bit, you know what I mean? So, again, as far as Xbox, I give them a win. I really like the way they sound. You still had your bass, your highs, and all that stuff, and it was pretty dang crisp. All right, so now talking HyperX with the Nintendo Switch. And again, I'm testing them USB and 3.5 like I've been saying through this whole thing, right? And again, when you got them docked and everything, you can do each variation. Plug it into the side or plug it into the top 3.5 or use it mobile with your 3.5 right there. And it sounded good. It really did. You hit that 7.1 and you can tell a difference whenever you're using this when it's in dock mode right there, you know? Again, even when you run 3.5, it pretty much sounds the exact same as the Arctis 5. Whenever you run 3.5 right here, both of them got a really crisp, really solid soundstage. They get pretty loud. All right, so which one are we on now? PC, I believe, right? So as far as the HyperX Cloud 2s on PC right here, they sounded pretty stinking good. I really liked them, you know. Whenever I connected the USB, going to 3.5 into the PC, I give that a, let's push that aside. But of course, we're going to plug these into USB on our PC right there. It's nice. You got your controls and everything. Again, it's a real stinker to have that control off in the distance right there, but it's really cool. On my PC, when you're using that control and, you know, increasing or decreasing your volume right there, it actually takes control of the Windows volume knob right there. So it actually shows on your screen whenever you're increasing or decreasing the volume. I think that is super awesome. So again, you're increasing it, but you can see if you're at 100 or 80 or whatever. But what I did notice, whenever you're adjusting right there, it kind of jumps. Like it went from 75 to 88. You know, I don't know. Maybe I was just sitting there smashing it. I don't know. But a couple times I just pressed it once and I noticed it, you know, jumping. We're going to go 70, 71, 72, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? I noticed it jump a little bit right there. Not a drastic amount where it's like dead quiet, then bam, it's blaring in your ears. Nothing like that by any means. But again, it was kind of jumping the numbers rather than just a smooth increase or decrease right there. And again, as far as the HyperX on PC right here, whenever you activate that 7.1, it sounds very good. No, not at all does it sound like a true 7.1. If you've ever heard a true 7.1, any of these headsets, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, no headset's ever going to sound like a true 7.1, you know what I mean? But it does sound good. Again, it kind of just dabbles with that EQ setting, raises the highs up a little bit, and it just makes it very crispy and, in my opinion, balanced, you know? So again, kind of decrease it. It's going to lower your highs a little bit, activate the 7.1, and you're going to get a few more highs right there. So it's kind of nice. You got two different options right there. Again, me personally, I like my highs to be really potent and just kind of just ear piercing up there, you know what I mean? But again, it came out very balanced. Nice bass, nice mids, nice highs, and I really like the sound on PC. All right, so here we go. Testing the HyperX on mobile or my iPad mini, and I used my little adapter right here that plugs into the bottom, and I can plug it in USB, so I get all of the controls on the HyperX while I'm on my iPad or whatever you're using, a laptop or something. You can still control your volume, the 7.1 and everything. While you're listening to music, you can still activate the 7.1 while you're on iPad. Of course, your device has to have USB. The iPad doesn't, so again, I had to have this adapter right here, you know, so just kind of remember that. Your device has to have USB, or you have to have an adapter for it. So anyways, I tested it by 3.5 and with my adapter here, and let me tell you something. Holy smokes, listening to music with these HyperX Cloud 2s, wow, they were amazing. They were so good. Is it because the ear cups being pleather right here and they're just locking in all that sound for you? A little bit tighter clamping force right there, so it's kind of really sucking your ear? I don't know. I don't think any of those are the reason right there. I just think that, again, the device, I'm testing an iPad mini, in my MacBook Pro right there. I think it's just, as far as music, it's just really using the headset to its full capability right there. And it sounded so good, I can't stress it enough. Again, I kind of got on there, expected to listen to a few songs and just kind of get my review and kind of get a, test out the soundstage. But again, probably an hour and a half later, I was like, okay, wow, I got to stop this. I got to get back to the review, you know what I mean? They sounded so good on music across every genre, from rock to hip-hop, a little bit of dubstep and stuff. Dubstep was just awesome. I mean, it was shaking. You actually hear the hits right there. The highs would really pierce you. As far as music, no questions asked, HyperX takes the win as far as music. So incredibly awesome for music. Now, one other thing I want to talk about sound on the HyperX headset right here. Again, kind of pinching on that music sound and everything. These have 53mm drivers, and I usually never talk about the driver size because it really doesn't matter. If you have these massive drivers, but your device can't push them and power them and push them to the full potential, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Rather, when you got like a basic console and you got the 40mm drivers, they're going to push those to their fullest. But as far as frequency range on the HyperX here, I believe they range from 15 to 25,000. I could be a little off. All right, no, I'm right. 15 to 25,000. I had to double check myself. But it was 15 to 20,000, and I think that's where they really shined on PC and listening to music right there. They were just really pushing, and you really caught that. Again, when I talk 15, you're talking your low end, your bass, going into your mids. You talk to higher number, you're getting into your highs. And I think that's why they really shined with music, because you got that complete range, and it was really taking advantage of it, you know what I mean? When the SteelSeries is going 20 to 20 right there, you kind of got a little bit more of that, mid-range kind of flooding it out right there, when I feel like the extra highs that were pushed into these really made them shine. All right, so now let's go on and get into the mic test here. Now I'm going to kind of mix both of these mic tests together. We're going to do the Arctis 5 first, and then we'll go into the HyperX, and we'll roll right into each of them. Now again, I stated in the mic test there as well, where we're going to be testing it with 3.5, and then we'll also test it connected by USB. Same with the HyperX, we're going to test it by 3.5 and USB. And I'll notate it there just so you can know which one we're actually testing at that certain time. Let's go on and get a listen. All right, so this is a mic test of the SteelSeries Arctis 5 2019 edition, and we are connected by USB right now. Again, this is a mic test of the SteelSeries Arctis 5 connected by USB. All right, now we're doing a mic test of the SteelSeries Arctis 5 2019 edition plugged in by 3.5. Again, this is a mic test of the SteelSeries Arctis 5 plugged in by 3.5. All right, we are now doing a mic test on the HyperX Cloud 2 plugged in by USB. And real quick, I just want to let you know, to even get this to sound a little bit louder and a little bit more right there, I had to bring the mic pretty dang close to my face. But again, we are doing a mic test on the HyperX Cloud 2 plugged in by USB. All right, now we're doing a mic test on the HyperX Cloud 2 plugged in by 3.5. Again, this is a mic test on a Cloud 2 plugged in by 3.5. All right, so what did you guys think about the mic test right there? Me personally, I think the HyperX kind of with the USB right there took the win. It just sounded really natural and just almost like you're sitting there having a phone call, I guess depending on which phone you're using. All right, so what did I miss? I'm sure I missed a whole bunch, right? And I do apologize for that. But again, I'll leave that detailed review right down there in the description, the links on both headsets for you right there, so you can kind of watch those, and maybe I cover something a little bit better, give you a little close-up on the headset and everything. But I feel like we covered quite a bit here, and I really hope I was able to help you a little bit. But as far as conclusion and kind of wrapping it up here, which one would I pick? This is a hard decision, because again, when I do these comparisons, I'm not just picking one headset here and from one headset from here off the shelf. I'm picking two headsets that I highly recommend and I really like. I try to keep them around the same price range, and two headsets I absolutely love. So let me kind of put it this way: if the HyperX had swivel in the ear cups, I would pick the HyperX. That's that. I really would. If they had swivel in the ear cups. I like the design, I like the way they look, but honestly, I can't deal with that no swivel. I can't. This is how they are, and they don't have that swivel. And me personally, I just can't stand it. I don't want to have to take my headset off because I have a pressure point right there. I just don't like that. So again, my win has to go to the SteelSeries. It pretty much nails everything. It has great sound. The comfort is absolutely fantastic. Lightweight, you know what I mean? I really like the features on it with the mic mute and all that stuff. Again, for me, I got to go with the Arctis 5. I know everyone out there is going to say, oh, this is just a SteelSeries channel, or this guy just always praises SteelSeries. That's not what I do here. If it's a product I love, I'm going to share it with you guys, and that's what I'm trying to do here, is help you out. And honestly, I would recommend the Arctis 5 across the board. I feel like you can get your money's worth right there. Now, again, going to the HyperX, if you can deal with that no swivel, you're going to have a complete winner here, right? You're going to have a little sweaty ears right there, but I think that doesn't really matter. I think it's a fantastic headset. Again, with both of them, like I stated in the beginning, I think they're both fantastic. You'll be happy with both of them. Just keep in mind where you do not have the swivel on this, because again, that's pretty much almost a deal breaker for me, but we got to leave that as personal preference. Again, it's a fantastic headset. So anyways, hey, let me know down in the comments which headset you would recommend, or which headset you own, or if you've tested both of them, which one do you really like? Would you pick the Arctis 5 or the HyperX Cloud 2s right there? Again, I love both of them, but if I just had to buy one, it would be the Arctis 5. So please let me know down in the comments which one you think. But hey, thank you so much for stopping by, watching this one. I hope I was able to help out just a little bit, if even, you know what I mean? I know I was kind of bouncing around a little bit here and there, because I honestly test these so many different ways that I was confused myself, But if you needed more information, I do have the detailed reviews right down in the description for you as well. But again, I highly appreciate you stopping by, and I really hope I was able to help you out just a little bit. But again, thank you so much, and I hope I catch you in the next one. Bye now.